Blitz Royale is a mode that exists inside of Fortnite. Blitz Royale was created back in June of 2025 as a mode to appeal to mobile players. The mode featured matches that only last for 5 minutes combined with a new roguelike mechanic, and even weekly updates to keep the mode fresh. Back when Blitz first launched, it was only meant to stick around for 4 weeks before getting removed. But the mode was such a success, everybody loved Blitz, so Epic decided to extend the mode by 4 weeks, and then another 4 weeks. Blitz Royale has made its way to becoming a core Metaverse mode, along with Battle Royale, Reload, and OG, you get the point. The mode has stayed in the game for around 8 months now and doesn't appear to be leaving anytime soon. But as time goes on, it seems like this mode is only getting worse and worse, with the mode quickly becoming just a shell of its former self. So what happened to Blitz Royale to turn it from the fresh and wacky mode to just straight up boring? Well, it's almost like that's the entire point of the video. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing the current state of Blitz after its planned end to see whether or not keeping Blitz was a good idea. Let's start off with Blitz's core. The core gameplay loop of Blitz Royale is quite simple. There are 32 players on a mini version of the Reload Venture map, now turned into a mini version of the Chapter 4 map, and the more kills you get, the more you level up. Reaching level 2 will get you a boon, level 3 gives you a random mythic, level 4 gives you a random exotic, and level 5 either gives you a banana or a mythic goldfish. There's also medallions scattered around in supply drops you can go for. Medallions provide a new layer to Blitz. The goal of getting as many medallions or boons as possible became a cool challenge to go for, and trying out weird pairs of medallions added a lot of fun to this mode. Medallions are an important part of Blitz's identity. They even have medallions in the loading screen of the mode. Medallions really are what makes Blitz special. Now at launch, the medallions featured were just the medallions seen in Battle Royale, so I'm curious to see how they'll expand the medallion system over the next few months. Oh, so they won't be expanding the medallion system. The removal of medallions might be one of the worst changes to any mode in Fortnite history, because once again, medallions are one of the core features of this mode, and in a mode where medallions are actually fun to deal with, and now they're just completely gone. That's it. Now, when you jump out of the battle bus, instead of getting one of 20 medallions, you now just get a random item from the loot pool. Not even a funny one. Most of the times, you'll just get an item like an OXR rifle or a Flex SMG. And when you open a supply drop, what do you get? Nothing. You get pretty much nothing. Medallions could have been cool here, since they aren't restricted to making medallions work in a Battle Royale environment. And I know this because the only Blitz exclusive medallion we got, aside from the knockoff Emma Frost one, was easily the most fun medallion of all time. While I'm sure Blitz won't lose anything else that's important to the mode. Are you kidding me? Weekly updates are just gone. They're gone. Just like that. You just got rid of weekly updates. Was it the entire point of this mode that it got a new themed update every week? Like, that was the entire point of what made this mode so fun and so fresh. You got a new week. You had week 2, which was Avatar themed, week 3, that was boss themed, and then week 4, that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Each week had its own theme, and each week majorly changed up the loot pool in its own unique way to accommodate that theme. But you know what? Fine. Let's hear Epic out. Let's see what updates we've gotten since this change. You know what? Let's directly compare it to an actual week of Blitz. Week 6 of Blitz, which is considered to be one of the more forgettable weeks, added the Blitz Grapple Blade, the Blitz Kneecapper, and then also added the Rocket Drill, the Void Oni Mask, and its mythic. Oh, I suck at talking. Let's move on. The Ascended Mist, the Grapple Blade, the Kneecapper, the Base Boost, and the Typhoon Blade. As I've already said, I'm not trying to cherry pick a good week either. This is one of the most forgettable I should just shut up. Oh my god. Anyway, that is all that one of the most forgettable weeks of Blitz added. So let's see what the past few Blitz updates have been like. Let's see, the first standout is a new map themed around Chapter 5 called Starfall Island. And yeah, this map just isn't fun to play on. I'm not gonna go in depth on why this map sucks, but if you've played it, you know what I mean. And after 2 months on this map, it has not received a single update. Yeah, Epic. One of the cool things about the other map was that it actually evolved like a Battle Royale map. It didn't start off as a Chapter 4 themed map. In fact, it started as a smaller version of the Venture Reload map, and then they just kept on expanding it until it became a Chapter 4 map. So why have neither of these two maps changed at all in the past 2 months? Add some locations from later Chapter 5 seasons here. It's not like that chapter had bad locations. Or turn it into a Chapter 6 map. Just do something to actually evolve and change this map, and make me actually care about it. On the topic of actual updates, let's talk about the actual updates we've gotten since weeks have changed, starting with the return of the Chapter 4 themed map. That update added back the Shockwave Hammer. The next update, they removed the Shockwave Hammer. Well, they also added the Flex SMG and the Excalibur rifle. Okay, let's talk about this. Why is the loot pool so basic? I swear, the loot pool is comprised of the same like 5 weapons: the OXR rifle, the Spire rifle, the Iron Pump, the Flex SMG, and the Suppressed Pistol. There, that is the loot pool of Blitz Royale. It's as simple as that. And you wanna know what's crazy about having a loot pool with only one wacky item? Most of the battle bus, you only spawn with a Flex SMG. And the only item you can get out of supply drops or loot llamas is the Shockwave Hammer. I'm not joking. Every single supply drop and every single llama gives the Shockwave Hammer. Okay, well, what's the next Blitz update? They removed the Shockwave Hammer, and in exchange added back the Lead Spitter, the Thermal Fish, and the Stealth Splash. And then the update after that removed the Lead Spitter and added the K-pop Demon Hunter items. And then the update after that removed the K-pop Demon Hunter items and then added the Lock on AR. And do you wanna know what's crazy about that? I just listed every update that Blitz got during 2026. At least up until when this is scripted, which is like the end of February. But I'm not joking. I can list everything added within 2 months of this mode's existence. And like, how long was this section? Like, a minute? And most of it's stuff that's already been in Blitz. The Shockwave Hammer has been a consistent item coming back since week 5 of Blitz. K-pop Demon Hunter's already had its own week, along with the Lead Spitter, which was part of an entire Chapter 6 Season 4 themed week. And the new items added to Blitz are just some of the things added to the main Battle Royale. And I do mean some of the new things. Stealth Splash was added to Blitz alongside its addition to the main Battle Royale. And do you want to know what else released in Battle Royale alongside this update? A full South Park event. Why did Blitz get nothing from the South Park update? They could have made the Kenny tokens drop from supply drops or added the cheesy poofs and make them do the insane damage like they did in the Power Hour. And if that wasn't enough, Battle Royale also got the Love and Legends event. This update added tons of Valentine's items like the Wings of Icarus, a mythic crossbow, friend bubbles from Delulu, and the return of the K-pop Demon Hunter mythics. Thankfully, Blitz got the return of the K-pop Demon Hunter mythics. But why did Blitz get nothing else from the Valentine's Day event? Even Reload had the return of Nightmare Island and the underwhelming Lantern Fest event, and OG had the Ice Storm event. So why is Blitz, the game mode that's meant to be wacky and meant to have weekly updates, getting absolutely nothing out of these events? And the few updates that Blitz does get is just watered down versions of the updates coming to main Battle Royale. How is Battle Royale getting wackier updates than the mode that's meant to be wacky? At least Battle Royale isn't getting key features removed because Epic wanted to try and mix up gameplay, and then when people complained about the removal of what actually made Blitz fun, they just turned the other way. I'm not going insane here, right? Blitz started off as this fun and wacky mode with consistent action to keep things fresh. Some of these updates dared to do things to unite the community in ways Battle Royale has never tried to do, but now when you compare these to their modern versions, they just don't even compare. Just compare the Ninja Blitz Boss week to the Playboy Cardi week. Ninja got 5 new mythics added to Blitz, and they all had their crazy abilities themed around Ninja. Ninja also got to pick the loot pool every day for a week, and also had community days, where the community literally got to pick what was added to Blitz. Meanwhile, the Playboy Cardi Blitz Bots week added 3 new mythics that did pretty much nothing, and that was it. I wouldn't even blame you if you didn't know that Blitz gets updates like this. The last time Fortnite has even directly mentioned Blitz on social media was back in December. It's not crazy to say that Epic Games has seemed to abandon Blitz Royale. As of now, Blitz is the worst performing out of any Metaverse mode, and its low performance is probably why Epic stopped updating Blitz. And it's almost like part of the reason why Blitz isn't doing as well is because of the changes that Epic has made to the the mode. I hope that Epic does something to Blitz to revive the mode. It's not too late for Blitz to be saved, and all that Epic needs to do is add back medallions and add back actual updates. Although I doubt that anything will actually happen to Blitz, this mode has pretty much been running on autopilot since the Bleach update, back in December. And while I hope that Epic will revive Blitz, I just don't see it happening. This was a very rant-style video with pretty much no overarching theme, so yeah, that's the end of the video. I just ranted about Blitz. Use my funny code in the item shop if you enjoyed the video, and I should really work on my transitions to the outro.